Yo, what's up guys? Braden here from Addict Gaming, and today I'm going to make a video talking about the differences between Heroes of the Storm and other MOBAs in the market right now. Now, if you don't know what Heroes of the Storm is, it's a MOBA being made by Blizzard and it's currently in alpha. So if you would like to try Heroes of the Storm, you need to go to your Battle.net account and opt into the alpha or beta, and hopefully you get in. And if you don't have a Battle.net account, then make sure you make one so you can opt in to play the game. I am going to compare Heroes of the Storm mostly to League of Legends because that's the MOBA that I have played the most, and that's the one I have the most experience with. And plus, it is the big dog on the block right now as far as MOBAs go, so if you're going to compare it to one game, you might as well compare it to the best one out there. Alright, so what makes Heroes of the Storm different from other MOBAs, and what is Blizzard trying to do with this game? Well, it pretty much boils down to being rewarded for team performance over being rewarded for individual performance. And this applies to a lot of things in both games, both League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm. But if we look at individual performance, in League of Legends, if I kill somebody or I kill two people, I get a very large chunk of gold. And I could take that gold and go back to the shop and buy something for myself. And then buying something for myself makes me stronger. And then I could go out there and hopefully kill more people. So you are being rewarded for what you do, not necessarily what your team does. Now in Heroes of the Storm, it's very different because there is no item purchasing and there's no gold at all. So you don't kill somebody or you don't farm last hit minions and go back to a shop and buy something to make yourself stronger. Everything you do in Heroes of the Storm goes to your hero level. Okay, so League of Legends has individual levels, so I might be level 12 on my team, where somebody else on my team might be level 9, because I was doing more. I was killing more minions, I was killing more people. But in Heroes of the Storm, if I'm level 10, everybody else on my team's level 10, because our team level's the same. So no matter what we do, if we're killing minions, we're killing monsters, we're killing enemy players, all of that stuff is being thrown into a team level. Now what this does is it kind of removes the idea of somebody being able to carry you because either they got lucky with a few early kills or they're just a lot better than the people they're laning against. In Heroes of the Storm, you're never going to be a lot stronger than the enemy. The only time you can ever be stronger than the enemy is if your team level is higher than their level. And usually in games it's about pretty even, maybe the same level or maybe like a 1 level difference. If you're looking at a 2 or 3 level difference between team levels, that means your team is just clearly dominant and you are clearly owning this other team. So that's one really big difference between these games, is the removal of item purchasing, so you can't become super strong. And also because of team levels, you aren't going to, receive upgrades to your skills and stuff like that faster than other people might. Now, with League of Legends, it's nice because if you are a very skilled player and maybe you're playing with a couple people who aren't really holding their weight, you can make an impact on that game still, and you can, as long as you're killing people and farming, you can go out and do things on your own. Where Heroes of the Storm, it can get a little frustrating because sometimes you feel a little like you're held hostage by your team because you're only as good as your team is. And that's where, Blizzard's trying to put a lot of the focus on teamwork rather than individual work. So if you're doing a pug or you're just playing with random people, it could be, in Heroes of the Storm, it could be quite frustrating because you're only as good as your team is. So no matter what you do individually, in Heroes of the Storm, you can only have you can only have so much impact on the game. You need everybody in Heroes of the Storm to contribute to your team, which is a little different in League of Legends. Of course, in higher levels, if people are dying a lot or they're feeding, then that's a really bad thing, so you're making the enemy team stronger. But you can have more of an impact as an individual player in League of Legends. So they removed item purchasing and they had to put something in its place. So what Blizzard did is they put in a talent system, and when your team level gets to certain levels, it's like, I forget what it is, like level 1, level 3, level 7, something like that, you are able to choose talents for your hero. And you have a choice of maybe about 6, and you could choose one of those talents. Once you choose one of those talents, all of the other talents go away, and you can't choose those talents anymore. The talents are in tiers based on the level your team level's at. So these talents are more than just, giving you a little extra damage or whatnot. Some of them give you a bit of extra damage, but a lot of them actually affect your skills and the way your skills work. And that adds a lot of flexibility into the game because you can be a support and you can expect to go healing, but maybe the game is turning out something different, and like the enemy team comp, or maybe there's something lacking on your team, and you can kind of adjust your playstyle through your talents and get maybe more damage if you needed it, even as a support. And that adds a lot of flexibility in the game. Whereas League of Legends, a lot of the strategy choices comes from the team comp you make at the beginning. And the heroes or the champions, their playstyle never changes from game to game, really. I was like, for example, Ezreal, really the only choice you have with Ezreal is if you're going to go attack damage or if you're going to go ability power. And then he still plays the same, the skills are always the same. And as far as item purchasing goes, League of Legends is very cookie cutter, where Heroes of the Storm you have a lot more flexibility in your choices, and you can kind of go with the flow and choose talents based on the situation that's happening in the game. So with League of Legends, your champion's always going to feel the same. You don't have a lot of choices as far as when the game starts. Usually you have your buy order and you stick to that, where Heroes of the Storm has a lot more flexibility, and you could change up the way your hero plays and change up the skills as the game goes on. Now, one of the ways that Blizzard is injecting more teamwork into this is by making multiple maps, and each map has its own objectives and team objectives that you need to compete for. And also, if you think about laning in Heroes of the Storm, you're not going for gold, so you don't have to last hit minions. So you're not going to be getting any gold from that. Pretty much killing minions in the lane is going to give your team experience to add to your team level. Whereas in League of Legends, you have to lane because you're trying to last hit minions to get more gold, so you can go and buy things to make you more powerful. Whereas Heroes of the Storm, it's a little looser, you can kind of roam around the map a little more, but the more you roam, of course, the less experience your team will be getting if you're not contributing. But as far as the maps go, you have maps like, I forget what it's called, the Curse Hollow or something like that, where there is one spirit that will spawn on the map, and you have to capture the spirit. So as soon as the spirit spawns on the map, both teams will sprint there and there will be a huge team fight. And you need a lot of teamwork to win the team fights, of course. And if you capture 3 of these spirits, you actually put a curse on the other team, reducing minion health to like 1, and screwing up their towers and stuff like that. So you really want these spirits. So they make these objectives on these maps something very important for the teams to go for. So the teams will always be fighting over it. So again, each map pretty much has their own different objectives. Now, something that's always the same on the maps are the monster camps, where in League of Legends you have a jungle, and usually you only want one person in the jungle. If you're sending a lot of people in the jungle, then you could be taking the blue and red buff, you could be stealing gold from the jungler, so you really only want one person in the jungle killing and getting gold and experience, and that's how he's going to be leveling up and getting his money. Whereas in Heroes of the Storm, the monster camps work a little differently. Because there's no gold, and because all the experience is shared, when you kill the monsters will actually turn into your allies and then jump into a lane and start pushing that lane for you. So the monster camps become a really big target for team fights, and a really big target for a team play to capture these monster camps as fast as you can to get these guys into the lane and help push the lane into the enemy base. So this is another big difference between Heroes of the Storm and other MOBAs. Heroes of the Storm, you're constantly fighting over objectives as a team together. Some of the map objectives, which are real game changers, which can actually change the momentum of the game, and then these monster camps that will turn into your allies and start pushing the lane for you. And League of Legends doesn't really have anything like that. I mean, you have like the dragon, and then you have Baron towards late game, but that's not something that you're constantly thinking about. And Heroes of the Storm, you're constantly fighting for these objectives from the beginning to the end. So anyway, those are the core differences between Heroes of the Storm and your more typical MOBAs. There of course are a bunch of other little changes to it, little differences, but I just wanted to touch on the core differences, the philosophies between the two games. If you guys like this video, please make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a comment or question, make sure you leave it below and we can talk about it. Thanks for watching, guys.